Hi there, Joka here, and in this video I'm going to share with you the cards that I made with two new collections, the Celebrate the Season and Glimmer Greetings from Spellbinders. This first product I actually did not take apart in this video because it's in the other video from today. If you want to check it out, I die cut all of them and showed them. Then we have these light bulbs and bells, a little Cardinal. So the other video is, what collection was that again? Oh my god, I have to think. Parcel and Post. Okay, then we have this Sled with ice skates and some poinsettia. Then a beautiful Winter Blooms die set. You know that I love these type of die sets. I always die cut a lot of them and then, you know, just randomly and then add them to all projects I can. Then we have this stylized Merry Christmas. It's a large focal point on your card. Then we have a Glimmer sentiments set, which I will also use in this video. Then a stamp set, another sentiment stamp set, which I will actually not use in the video, and then a glitter sentiments, Glimmer, sorry, sentiment set that is things like season's greeting, Christmas wishes, sending Christmas wishes, merry and bright, but you will see them foiled in this video. Then we have an essentials die kit, the arches and the diamonds, then this crossed lines cover plate that also comes with a sentiment that you can pair with the diamonds die set, and then this Plaid Tidings cover plate. I chose these cardstocks for my cards today. I think I also added some gray tones, the 3 grays that are available for Spellbinders. I just added those later, so that's why they were not there. So I am putting together one of each type of flower so that you can see how they go together. They are very straightforward and simple to put together. I have no idea what any of these plants or flowers or leaves are called, so you will just have to see for yourself. I don't actually know if they even are any realistic flowers. But yeah, it's very simple or easy to put them together. Well, this one is a poinsettia that I know. And I mean, you can go about this all kinds of ways. There's a lot of small shapes that you can use for flower centers on any of these flowers. So that's really up to you how you want to mix and match everything. And then there's this large bloom with 2 layers, and you either add something to the center here or not, again up to you. And then I'm just shaping the petals on the blooms, and then here are a bunch of different leaves and foliage. So this is all that you get in the die kit. As you can see, I die cut a bunch and I will try to use them as well. Now for the Cardinal, it's again a very simple thing. There's not a lot of pieces, and I die cut the body and also some of the pieces from white cardstock as well. And here I'm just adding a little bit of copy paper to the back just so that I can add back those tiny pieces and also the eye, so something is holding it. There is a white part to the eye and then a small black one, or whatever color you choose to use, really. I don't actually know if I chose the right colors. I did not Google, and I've never seen a cardinal in real life. They are so beautiful. The red is just absolutely stunning, from what I can see in pictures, anyway. But I've never seen one in my life. So, but I'm guessing you can just use whatever color you like. I'm sure it doesn't have any pink to it, but I wanted to add a bunch of different colors. You know me. I like it colorful. And then the two little legs. There's actually two sets of legs in the die set, but again, I use this one that I know. Okay, then what else do we have? So here we have some of the Glimmer plates and sets, and I am going to foil a few of them now, just so you see what they look like. I don't, I did not manage to do great, or achieve great results with everything, because I mostly just have experience with sentiments, really. So when it comes to other glimmer plates, I still would need to experiment, what thickness of shim I should add. And in this case, especially the Plaid Tidings, I would have needed some more or like a bit more thicker shim in the middle, but because I knew that I wasn't going to use the middle of that background, I did not bother foiling another panel. But I'm just gonna try to show you what they look like. So this one actually turned out pretty great, and then I foiled that on some other colors as well. I will not be using everything that I foiled here in this video, especially not the sentiments, but I like to create a lot of sentiments so that I always have them on hand. And yeah, I really have a lot, probably for the next 10 years, Christmas cards. Look how beautiful these are. And they have matching dies, so it's perfect. And then I actually I almost forgot about these sentiments here. And then I will foil these in different colors that I know I use often. Mostly I actually use gold foil, but for Christmas projects, I also really love the red one that's called Crimson Stars. It's such a beautiful red, and I do use a lot of red for Christmas cards. So the red foil is just a nice accent. And then, of course, I had to foil the partly cloudy cardstock because it's my favorite. And when you have a little bit of overfoiling, or not even overfoiling, just that the letters are a bit, they look a bit thick, the lines, you can just remove it with a razor. I don't know if normal eraser works as well, but I just use this one that removes glue, and it works perfectly. It doesn't remove any other parts of the foiling, so it just makes them perfect. Look how beautiful that red is. So I did not bother with the matching or coordinating die with these sentiments. I just used my trimmer to then try my best to cut straight strips, because with just one coordinating die would take ages, so I went with my trimmer. And then here are the sentiments in various colors, and I also did these little panels where I did not die cut the words. I just created Merry and Bright because it's something I would probably use. Now the first card that I'm making is using this sled, and I did add to every piece, well, except the flowers, I added heavyweight white cardstock, so it's all nice and sturdy. You know that I like to do this, but obviously you don't have to. This is an extra step, and obviously it takes more time, but it's just how I create my cards. It's very easy to put it together, and there are some markings on the on the big piece so that you know where your wood panels are going. And then I die cut my ice skate from pattern paper just to make it a little bit more special. And then I use some gray cardstock. I mean, I could have used silver, but I always have I'm trying to avoid all kinds of glitter and metallic cardstock if I know that it would be the bottom layer, like here on the skate, because I don't have any glue that will keep that in place for good. So now I'm trimming down this panel. It was actually in A2 size, but I wanted to have a little bit of variation in size, so I have like an edge around it on my card base, and I'm adding a thin layer of foam tape. I think this is maybe about 2 millimeters, and then I'm trying to figure out where to or what kind of design I want to go here. So I decided to put my sled on the left side because I had this extra cardinal. I had two, and I felt like that pop of red looked really nice with the colors here. I do realize that the proportions are completely off. I mean, the sled should be much larger compared to the cardinal, right? But I mean, it's a card, right? I hope it doesn't have to be realistic. I don't know. Maybe it makes no sense. Sometimes I feel like I don't make sense at all, but I always say it's just a card, so it's fine. So I'm hanging my ice skates behind the flowers there, so onto the sled. I think this is probably how it was on the product packaging as well. So I didn't actually get very creative with this. I just went with the intended use, I guess. But I guess with the ice skates you could do such fun patterned backgrounds. I think I didn't even think about it. I was I really need at least 48 hours in a day. Unfortunately, these past couple of months have been very busy, and the next two will be as well. So I think I just had no time to think, really. Like now I'm doing this voiceover literally at 1 p.m. on the day that the video is supposed to go up. I was up until 6 a.m., but I did not manage to finish this. So let's see. I hope I'm not going to blabber a lot, but I did not sleep. So I apologize for that. So here's one that I really love. I don't know what is it about light strands or Christmas lights, all the fun colors that you can create with them, and they I don't know, it's just a shape or something. They are so cute. So I was really happy about this set. And just to stay with the color scheme, obviously I did not create rainbow lights. I just used the same colors as I chose for the other cards. And then you will see that there's these tiny little bows. I think those are actually intended to be used with the bells, maybe. But I love them so much. I felt like I'm gonna, I don't know, that I would add them to the light bulbs. Obviously, there's no. Well, I don't actually know. I haven't seen Christmas lights with bows on them, but I thought they look cute, don't they? So I die cut those from the same colors as the top layer of those light bulbs, and then I just try to arrange them in a way that I thought looked okay. I was struggling a bit with the bottom strand because there wasn't as much space as for the first three, but I did not want to skip that. I did try to maybe put a larger sentiment there because there's a deck the holes, for example, in this mix and match sentiment set. I think that one is from the Celebrate the Season collection, but I did not. I don't know. I didn't really like the way that looked. I instead decided to just add a simple sentiment strip that is foiled with this beautiful crimson stars foil. And then it's a very simple card, really. Almost, obviously, it's not a one layered card, but to me, it almost feels like it because it doesn't really have any dimension. And the panel in the background, the gray panel, I embossed with one of these new embossing folders. Well, actually, the only one in this collection, the Celebrate the Season collection. And that's pretty much it. I'm adding a few layers of cardstock behind the sentiment, and then I'm also going to add foam tape to add dimension, and then this card is done. And then I will be moving on to the next one, which is possibly my least favorite in this set, and I will tell you why. I don't know actually why. I don't know why, but I don't quite like all the gold foil on this pink sand color cardstock. I wanted to try it with pink, but I don't know. It's just not my favorite. But to each their own, I guess. Maybe some of you like it. I don't know. I just didn't want to go with white because I feel like that's a bit too cold with the colors that I chose. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it is not my favorite. But as you can see, I had like a bit of underfoiling in the middle, and I actually die cut that out with the new arches or essential arches die, and I will now add some of the flowers to embellish it. And when I was editing the video last night, I noticed right away, or remembered, that I did not add an enamel dot to the middle of that one flower there, and it already was bugging me. I don't know, I forgot about it completely. I guess I was so focused on other things that just somehow skipped my mind. Not a not a big deal, don't get me wrong. It's just, you just sometimes realize later that you forgot about something, and you don't even notice. When I was taking photos of the project, I didn't even notice, so it's all good. So there's no rhyme or reason to how I do this, really. I'm just trying to use as many colors as possible from what I die cut. making sure that really I use every color, and these are from light pink to darker pinks and reds. One of the new cardstock, well, two actually, because the indigo is new as well, and mahogany is the other new color that I used here. And the only cardstock that I'm using that is not Spellbinders here is the very light pink. That's I believe it's called Tutu Pink from Basil. It's a textured cardstock that I use. I think it's my most used cardstock actually. Probably that's why I remember the name. I never remember the name of anything. I mean, they have hundreds of different cardstocks, so who can remember all of that? Okay, so I'm creating this cluster here, but then I felt like I needed something on the left top. But I didn't want to add another huge cluster because I wanted the arch to be seen as well. And then also my sentiment is quite big too. I needed space for that. So in the end, I'm just going to add a little, just some tiny flowers like these ones. Yeah, and then that will be the whole card. And by the way, I added 2 layers of cardstock behind my letters. So actually it's a white layer and the pink layer, but no reason for that. And the pink layer I just die cut because I didn't know what color sentiment I want. And then to not waste it, I layered it behind the red one, and now it's kind of dimensional like a chipboard. And then I'm using liquid glue to put everything in place. I really like the font on this sentiment, and I like that you can put it diagonally just to have a little bit more interest there. And now I'm using, this is also a new cardstock called Dune. I foiled this with a gold foil as well, and I trimmed it down a little bit to have a white edge around it. And also because the die, the plate, the Glimmer plate actually cut off all my corners, where I think there was a line there exactly. And when you have like a two, how do I explain this? When your sandwich is so tight, the Glimmer plate actually can cut through the paper. So the corners, I guess they were, the lines were very close to the corners, so they just got chopped off. So this was the reason why I trimmed off the panel, but actually I really like the white edge around it. It kind of helps the whole design come together, where I have the white sentiment in the middle, which, by the way, the sentiment also comes with the cover plate, and it perfectly fits into this diamond, one of the diamonds from the new Essential Diamonds die set. And by the way, there's also solid Glimmer plates in these shapes, the arch and the diamond, but I do not have them. So there are more pieces in these collections than I actually showed in the video, but I did use quite a few. I tried to use as many as possible so that you can see what they look like. And I'm creating 2 clusters of flowers. They are not quite the same on both sides, but well, you could say they are kind of symmetrical. But I did try to use different flowers here and there and different colors, just so that it's not all the same. But this is a very simple design, and still I think this is my favorite card from this card set that I made. Actually, I think these would be good for present or as a gift for a friend. You create a bunch of Christmas cards that they can send out in the summer if you have time. um, I think it's great. I don't know. I just like to create cards in sets, to be honest. And now I'm using some of the new gems. These were the Opal color. And I made it my mission to use this stamp set. I'm not, I don't color. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it. I used to love it as a kid. As an adult, not so much. So I decided I love white embossed panels, especially on navy. So I decided to do just that and just use it as a background. Nothing special, super easy. Um, I'm cleaning up the flyaways there, and then I will clean up this panel because you could see that I put some of these anti-static powder on it, so it was all white. And now I'm going to trim off the edge. This stamp set is smaller than the A2 size. So the blue panel that I used was A2 size, so you can see in comparison the stamp set is smaller. And just to make this panel sturdier, and also because it's embossed, so it's kind of warped, I'm adding a heavyweight white cardstock layer behind it, and then I will also add the thin layer of foam tape. I really like this foam tape actually. I bought it here in Germany in a local store. They have different thicknesses, and this one is really, really thin, but it's enough to give a bit of interest to your card. You know, it doesn't give a lot of dimension, but just a little bit of interest. And now I am lining up this sentiment with the shadow, and I actually did this by lifting up the two layers to the light so that I could see how they line up, because obviously I didn't care when I die cut it. I did not think ahead, so I don't have the outlines around the letters. So, but it was easy to line it up when I looked at it at the light or in the light. And now I'm filling back the letters. I think it's just easier this way. I mean, you could do it without as well and follow the outlines, but I think it was just easier. And I added some temporary glue so that they don't move. And now I'm also layering color cardstock on the letters, the same colors as I used on all projects. Here the last three are gray. If you cannot tell, those are 3 gray Spellbinders cardstock. And this one is a thicker foam tape. It's the same brand actually, or I don't even know if it has a brand, but it's from the same store in Germany. And I just really like them. They are huge, and they are a lot cheaper than the Scotch tape that I used to use. Yeah, and then I had this extra Cardinal, so I just decided to add that little pop of red. It's a super simple card, but I really like that white embossed panel on the navy color. And now this card I actually wasn't planning to make, but I did have all these extra flowers that I already die cut and put together. I did not want to waste them. I know that sometimes, well, most of the time, I would not get back to the same set, and I did not want to waste any of the die cuts that I put so much time into, and also this foil panel. Yeah, so I put together a quick card. It's kind of the same concept as the sand color one before, except here I'm putting the flowers all around that die cut. And there's again no rhyme or reason. I'm just using whatever I have and tucking them under that sentiment. And as you can see, I'm trimming them all down because they have really long stems. So here I just needed them to be much shorter, just to peak, just, that they don't, what was I gonna say? Oh my God. I I forget what I wanted to say. Never mind. I'm sure it wasn't very important. So basically, at the end, I think I'm only gonna have a couple of the flowers left. So I was happy with that. I hate wasting cardstock. I hate wasting time. So I'd rather create a similar card that I already did than throw away die cuts and such. And because I never know how many flowers I need for a project, for some reason, I always end up with too many, and then I have more cards than I intended to have. But that's okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to, be mindful about the placement of the colors. Like you have lighter blues, darker blues, not all next to each other, but kind of varying as you go. And now I did not really have anything to fill that little space in at the top left, so I added 3 little flowers, but I kind of like that random look, that there's nothing symmetrical about this whole thing. I don't normally like symmetry at all, so even if I don't purposefully look for that, I normally end up not having symmetrical designs. But again, everybody's different. Some people cannot look at things that are not symmetrical. But yeah, and now I'm adding a few little enamel dots in red and light pink. And then I'm done. I think this was my 6th card today, and this is the last one. So this was a longer video, but there were a lot of new products in it, so I hope you didn't mind it was this long. I actually should have said at the beginning how long is going to be, but I forgot. So here you have all the cards together. I hope I could inspire you in some small way. Let me know what you think of the new collections. There's so many new products, from papers to dies to Glimmer sets, glitter, foam sheets, so many things. Let me know what your favorites are this month. And I hope to come back with new videos in August. I am going to be on holiday most of August, so I don't know, it's tight. We will have to see. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.